his speech patterns that you get the basic gist of what he's trying to say. The real damage isn't in how he says things, but from three key techniques that he uses to insulate himself from criticism and consequence. And if we are not extreme...
It's not how he says it, but what he says. That's what pisses off the left, because the whole idea of, you know, trolling people, social justice warriors, you know, trolling somebody is making it so if you know something about a specific subject and you know somebody else doesn't know that much about it, or not as much as you do, and you try to get them to debate you about that subject that you know more about than they do, then you're trolling that person. That's what trolling means. You're actually bringing in somebody that's ignorant to the conversation.
Careful. All three can have serious impacts that far outlast his presidency. And let's start with the first one. Delegitimizing the media. Now, Trump has been attacking the press
Project Mockingbird.
And in a broader sense,
never happened.
He's been waging war on the very concept of truth ever since he first turned to his mom and said, Dada, and she said, no, I'm Mama, and he said, fake news.
Yeah, that's fake news right there. Yeah, he turned to his mama.
He's crying fake news as President of the United States, and he is openly proud of it, to the point that he recently tried to take ownership of the term itself.
The media is really the word. I think one of the greatest of all terms I've come up with is fake. I guess other people have used it perhaps over the years, but I've never.
Other people have used it perhaps, yes.
He took credit for inventing
No, he
the term
didn't.
fake news.
He just actually.
He did not.
He didn't.
What he just said was technically fake news.
Technically, it was not.
Well, I'm not the first politician to criticize the press.
Technically, he's fake news.
What about Bernie Sanders? And that actually brings us to Trump's second technique, something called whataboutism. It's the practice of changing the subject to someone else's perceived wrongdoing. Now, Trump does this all the time. Most famously, when he was
You mean
asked
pointing
whether
out
he
history?
condemned the neo-Nazis in Charlottesville, and this was his response.
What about the alt-left that came charging at the, as you say, the alt-right? Do they have any semblance of guilt? What about the fact they came charging with clubs in their hands, swinging clubs? Do they have any...
No, if they hit somebody and mace little kids, they're not in trouble.
Killing someone with a car is so heinous, any other issues that might be up to
And they bust those people in there anyway. There's video evidence of all those counter-protesters being bussed in. They're not even from Charlottesville.
Hitler in the balls. Do you know what? I'm suddenly not so fucking focused on the footwear.
What kind of analogy is that? Hitler's dead.
Of saying what about is actually an old Soviet propaganda tool. And the reason it is dangerous
because Trump's a Russian, right?
Is that all actions, regardless of context, share a moral equivalency. And since nobody is perfect, all criticism is hypocritical, and everybody should do whatever they want. It is a depressingly effective tool.
I think it is hypocritical to not point out how Hillary was dealing with the Russians with uranium-1.
Collusion with the Russians. But what about the Democrats' possible ties to Moscow? Former National Security Advisor
The Democrats are hypocrites because they don't point out any crimes done by Democrats, like Obama, Clinton. They never did anything wrong.
But what about Benghazi? What about the blatant
And Trump hasn't done anything wrong. All they can bring up is him saying the news is fake.
And the public about the Iran deal. You know, what about the
Which
fact
it
that
is.
Jonathan Gruber basically...
Yeah, Gruber. Oh, look up that. Seriously, guys? Look up Gruber.
Because here is the thing, none of the errors those people
They have no idea who Gruber is.
The Trump administration's actions. A defense attorney could not stand up in court and say, maybe my client did murder those people, but I ask you this, what about Jeffrey Dahmer? What about Al Capone? What about the guy from The Silence of the Lambs?
Is that even a thing? Like, who's gonna... What? Yo, yeah, these fake characters in movies. What is he talking about? This is retarded, actually. I figured out that you guys are retarded if you watch this guy.
Third technique, trolling. Now, trolling itself has been around for years. It's basically 80% of what happens.
It's called bringing somebody in, luring somebody into a conversation they don't know anything about.
Aged like an apple caught in a dumpster, or that I look like a fucking pickle with glasses. Now, it doesn't matter whether they mean any of that. The point is just to get a reaction and to hurt my feelings, which, by the way, it absolutely does. But Trump
not allowed to hurt people's feelings.
Ever troll to be elected president, and that's right.
That's not free speech.
Remember 10th President Sprinkles Fuzz Wizard? He assumed office after William Henry Harrison died. And if you're thinking, hold on, Sprinkles Fuzz Wizard was not America's 10th president, really? Who was America's 10th president?
Oh God, I forget the 10th president.
Let's assume I'm right.
It's like 1780s.
Trump often does things that have no effect other than to piss off his perceived enemies, like when he tweeted this wrestling gif of himself body slamming CNN.
That was a little kid that posted that.
Saying she was bleeding badly from a facelift, or as we mentioned earlier tonight,
then CNN tried to
nuclear weapons short and fat. And Trump even wants
oh no, he called somebody short and fat.
That
you know, Kim Jong-un is short and fat. So what?
Which it is not. Because
I think that they're really worried about fat shaming and everything else more than anything else. You're a dick if you troll somebody, or are you really just a smart person luring an idiot into a conversation? A troll is what this is what they think a troll is. Somebody pissing in your house.
Trolling is not actually without political value. Despite Trump's few real policy accomplishments,
not what a troll is.
He's consistently achieved one thing, and that is
a troll is a genius.
Unhappy, and for many Trump supporters, that itself counts as a major victory. Just listen to how Fox and Friends reacted after Trump freaked people out by standing with military leaders during rising tensions with North Korea and suggesting that it was the calm before the storm.
Okay.
I think he's trolling the media. He is. I think he's totally trolling the media there. You do something like that, even the smile and the wink. Those of us that
well, we don't want North Korea to know when we're going to attack them.
Want that town to freak
That's
out.
the whole point. That's why the liberals or whatever are so pissed off. Because Obama would tell everybody when we're going to go strike ISIS.
Who benefits from mass confusion about whether
who benefits from that? ISIS would benefit. North Korea would benefit if we told them when we're going to go strike, right? These guys are idiots.
The reporter is scared of dying, so things are looking up. MAGA.
Yeah, fuck yeah, MAGA. You don't want to make America great again. You want us to tell North Korea when we're going to go fuck them up.
By how many bears you fuck. Oh, wow. That is not your job.
Yeah, that's an analogy.
In its own way, but it's definitely not what you're supposed to be doing.
The president... Oh, God, that's just the weirdest... You have to be sick to make that analogy. Seriously.
Because that's when they have to either put up or shut
Show's
up.
sick.
You may have heard about cases where people tracked down the source of something awful that was posted online, only to find some sullen 15-year-old who just shrugs and goes, well, I don't know why I wrote that, I just did it.
Well, that's literally what happened with the Trump body slam video. The kid made it, and then they threatened to put him out. Like, CNN was like, we're going to tell everyone your name.
Trump Tower tweeting, how low has President Obama gone to tap my phones?
So he misspelled tap.
When he was asked to justify that?
Because he was rushing, probably. He held on to the key too long.
And I think that was inappropriate.
What does that mean, sir?
You can figure that out.
Yeah, Trump
The reason I asked is you said he
being spied on by Obama is fucked up.
You can figure it out.
No matter how you
nice
spin it.
Words, and when I was with him, but after that there has been no
they don't talk to each other.
By that claim about
I don't stand by anything. I just, you can take it the way you want.
Okay. So
he should at least stand by his comment, I think.
On the internet, he claimed that his predecessor
he should stand by his comment.
Serious crime, but in person,
because Obama is illegally spying on him during the election. That's so they gloss over Obama's crime with how Trump reacts to Obama's crime. That's just ugh. What about Nixon? Nixon basically almost went to jail for that. Same thing.
Please make it quick.
My times have changed.
Because that interview kept going, and Trump was explicitly given the opportunity to set the record straight for the fake news.
I agree. He should have just said, I concur with my further comment.
In the United States, you said he was sick and bad because he attacked you.
You can take it any way you want.
But I'm asking you because you don't want to do
I'll take it like Obama's a criminal.
You don't have to ask me.
Why not?
Because I have my own opinions, you can have your own opinions.
But I want to know your
We're just, the NSA's allowed to spy on all of us too.
Thank you very much.
Obama just is allowed to spy on anybody. That's all good. And he just sits down. I love it. He's like, talk to me now. I'm in the fucking Oval Office sitting in my desk.
There is a lot that is infuriating about that clip. But Trump going back to his desk and pretending to work hard.
Oh, he's pretending, yeah.
Funny thing to do.
You're pretending that he's pretending. That's what's going on.
By pretending to do his taxes.
Sure.
You never do this. Why would you need to?
A dog shouldn't do tax. Nobody should do taxes. I think, honestly, the IRS should be illegal. Look at my YouTube playlist on that. IRS is illegal.
It risks them spreading, and that, sadly, is happening. Last month, Congressman Paul Gosar used all three techniques. First, he suggested in an interview that the march in Charlottesville may have been a false flag operation.
It was. They had buses filled with people going into that protest. They weren't from Charlottesville.
It's all been debunked. There was
It's not been debunked. Absolutely not debunked whatsoever. So stay tuned.
Yeah, why doesn't she debunk it? She just says, it's debunked, like the 9/11 debunkers. We debunked the 9/11 truthers.
The Clinton administration right now with the dossier. Hardly.
I'd like to see that documentary.
You're not real news, you're fake news.
Yeah, let's see CNN make a documentary about how Charlottesville was done the way they said it was.
So he's basically just copying Trump. And if there is one thing worse than something terrible,
I mean, they said that there was a fake Craigslist ad for Charlottesville that turned out to be true, but that doesn't mean there weren't people coming out of buses.
The problem is, if that becomes the level of discourse in this country, we are seriously and lastingly fucked. And just this week, we saw some of these techniques pushed to the absolute limit by the scandal involving Alabama Senate candidate Roy Moore, who has denied allegations of sexual misconduct with a 14-year-old when he was 32 and called them fake news. Now, what Sean Hannity then used whataboutism...
Pedogate is a real thing, and it's all over Washington. I wouldn't be surprised.
Told two of her girlfriends what happened. He was in real time. Do you think Bill Clinton, in retrospect, was a predator?
But that is not what this discussion is about. You might as well have said,
Jeffrey Epstein, you know, it's just like how there's these kingpins and stuff. Bill Clinton is a legitimate question when it comes to pedogate. And he's everywhere. Bill Clinton's dick is literally everywhere.
Look, whether Clinton engaged in predatory behavior is absolutely a legitimate question. But it shouldn't really inform what we do about Roy Moore.
It's in his mouth, too, for
believe
sure.
that Democrats are guilty of a double standard. The solution is not to have no standard whatsoever. That is why it's so important.
Remember, this is an adult video, so I'm commenting in adult phraseologies.
Is the erosion of our ability to decide what's important, have an honest debate, and hold one another accountable.
Yeah.
And that erosion can be so...
Holding accountable, isn't that a whataboutism?
It happens very slowly, and you might not notice until it's too late.
This whole show is stupid.
I cannot pretend
there's no actual news.
Which is why it is so important to take some hope from this year's small victories, like the Muslim ban being blocked by the courts after massive public protests.
It wasn't a Muslim ban. Obama was bombing the same countries that Trump, you know, banned.
And just this week in Virginia, voters rejected.
It's okay for Obama to bomb those countries, though.
Dog whistle campaign, and that is encouraging.
Actually, yeah, the people were like, we're not going to just follow what Trump tells us to do. We're going to vote for whoever we want, and they did. They proved you wrong twice.
Tuesday also marked the defeat of Bob Marshall, who earlier this year proposed a so-called bathroom bill. He lost to Danica Roem, who will now be Virginia's first...
Oh yeah, the transgender... There's only two genders, man. It's still a man.
Danica, you were running against
XY chromosome.
Robert Marshall, an incumbent,
that doesn't.
Incumbent. He's also a man who.
He's calling it a she, or I can't even keep up with any of this anymore. So who cares?
Come January, Delegate Marshall will be one of my constituents. I'm not going to disrespect my own constituents.
Wow.
You're disrespecting everybody just by being there. And going into, you know, the wrong bathroom. That's disrespectful, I think.
Disrespected her, but given the opportunity, she chose not to respond by tweeting, "I'll fight for Bob's rights to use any bathroom he wants, but it's too late. He already shit the bed on
two genders. There's only two. This is all nonsense anyway, so I'll probably end it here.
should not make you complacent. They are absolutely no guarantee that the midterms will turn out at all well.
That's why you got to vote, guys. You got to get out there and vote. Can't let these people run our lives, mess up bathrooms for everybody. I'll just leave it here. Yeah, it's a pointless show to watch.